Hey there guys, and welcome to another Vinland Saga Manga review. Today we have chapter 174. This time it's gonna be a little different than other times. No camera, but I will keep you entertained with visuals and manga panels. When I move back home, I'll have my camera in the reviews and I'll continue as normal. So before I get to this month's chapter, I have a very quick 3-minute recap about last month's chapter where I ripped this interdependence to shreds. If you want to skip this recap and don't want to know why Thorfinn's settlement will fail, well, move to this timestamp for the review of the newest chapter. So, in the latest chapter, we had Thorfinn and Halfdan having a pretty interesting conversation, if you ask me. Some other minor things happened as well. Thorfinn bought a horse to bring in Vinland, and whatever his name is, the son of Thorkel, he will be joining them. But I think the conversation foreshadowed a lot of events to come. To get to the meat of the discussion, Thorfinn wanted to somehow justify the danger of this travel, and think of a good reason why the natives won't attack the settlers, and Halfdan was playing devil's advocate. Thorfinn eventually concluded that the reason the natives won't attack them is interdependence. The natives will have more to lose than to gain by killing them, and the Norsemen can provide a lot of useful knowledge. He brings up the story of the two men, a blacksmith and a shepherd, who by working together can make a delicious bowl of stew. The blacksmith will be making the kettle and the bowl, and the shepherd will be providing the meat. Thorfinn is excited and jumps around proclaiming he has found a solution. Now, I believe this chapter is very ominous, and here's why. Thorfinn is objectively wrong. There is no interdependence. The natives have learned how to survive in Vinland for centuries and have no need of Thorfinn and his gang. Our heroes are the ones who are in need. As for the story of the two men, it is simply put irrelevant and a horrible example. The two men in the story are A. Speaking the same language and can easily reach an agreement. Thorfinn and the natives can't. Any misunderstanding could lead to violence. B. In the story, the two men have a mutual understanding of each other's products and their value. The natives will probably not understand what iron is, and they won't see any use of it. This has happened multiple times in history. Check out when the ancient Greeks first discovered the steam-powered engine. Even if Thorfinn was to offer the natives food, like lamb, it is possible that the natives have no knowledge on how to properly cook it. They may fall ill, and then violence may ensue. C. In the story there are only 2 men, not 100. This means that even if some natives are fascinated by the Norsemen's offerings, that doesn't mean that the majority or the leader of their tribe will share the same excitement. Think about it. Even if Thorfinn encounters a very large tribe, say 200 people strong, the natives will still be outnumbered in terms of males of fighting age. Within that number, there are women, children, elderly, sick, etc. So imagine their shock and terror when a group of 115 angry-looking Norsemen land on their shores. They will now have to share their land and its resources, and that can easily cause them to turn against the settlers. For me, the thing that really struck me in this chapter as off was not Thorfinn's conclusion, but his reaction. He's depicted acting like a child, jumping around, arriving at quick conclusions, without second-guessing himself. And that is a pretty good sign he will be proven wrong. In a previous video of mine, which you can check here, I talked about the possible endings of Vinland Saga. And with this chapter, I think we're now closer than ever to the bad ending. Now, back to chapter 174. I'm not gonna lie, this chapter really did not offer much. Thorfinn got a sweet deal by Halfdan to inherit his farm. He, Halvor, and Einar tried to find ways to refuse this, but hey, they didn't even have to, since the absolute Chad, our boy Siggy, came back with his hot wife and newborn child. Hey, where's his fat friend? What was his name? I don't remember. Anyway, I was so glad to see Sigurd back, even though we didn't necessarily have to see him. His new design is simply put amazing, and I'm glad to see him so calm, confident, and in control. He even had a nice conversation with Thorfinn, even learning about Thorfinn's marriage, which he didn't seem to care much about. I mean, I don't blame him. Look at his wife. Now, enough with the jokes. People will say this chapter didn't offer much, but at least two events should be noted. With the return of Sigurd, the entire Iceland plot has been neatly tied with no loose ends. Every character in Iceland, except Thorfinn and his gang, has gotten a nice ending, and we really do not need to see them again. This sets up the next two chapters where Thorfinn will finally recruit Eivor, load the ships, and set sail. There is simply nothing left to do on Iceland anymore. So, in a way, yeah, that's good, because we're gonna sail to Vinland, finally. And the second thing that caught my attention was the final page of the chapter, where by the layout of the panels, we see that there is a possible clash of ideologies in Vinland. Eivor is being set up as Thorfinn's biggest adversary, and his beliefs about Thorfinn's plan being suicidal seem to haunt our protagonist. This foreshadows a larger clash between them in the future. I imagine with all this fuss about Eivor, narratively, he has to come with our heroes. I won't be surprised if he's the villain of the next major and final arc of Vinland Saga. I really think this chapter, and this arc in general, with Thorfinn arriving in Iceland and preparing, it was the calm before the storm. It feels very joyful in a sense. And I think that we will see with the newest arc, with the Vinland arc, there's gonna be a change. I think there's gonna be a tone, a shift. Hardships are gonna appear. There's the perilous journey to Vinland. There's the tough few months as soon as they land. And then there's also the meeting with the natives, which really don't know how this is going to play out. So, if you like this chapter review and you want to see more, hit like and smash the subscribe button. I am preparing some videos for To You the Immortal, or To Your Eternity. I don't know how you call that. It has so many different titles, which is coming this September, I think, or October. So I'll be covering this amazing new anime. And I'll make a video introducing you guys to it. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. And leave a comment below telling me what do you guys think about this chapter, or the next chapters, this arc in general. I really want to know what you guys think. Until next time, my fellow Vikings.